Webster here. Well, I was permanently banned from limited run games. And the purpose of this video isn't to be petty or complain about it. I really want to just inform you about what happened in case this could happen to you. Let's get into it. For folks that don't know about limited run games, it's a video game distributor based out of Raleigh, North Carolina. The company meets a customer need by bringing digital-only games to a physical release on a variety of consoles. However, more recently they have begun delving into retro games such as ports of Turok, Doom, and other titles. The company gets their name based upon the exclusivity and number of physical games that they produce. They only print a small number of copies, thereby creating video game collector gold for nerds like me. Limited Run finances costs for the game's print runs and other steps in the process. To offset production costs, the company's website handles pre-orders. The company has only been around for 4 years now, but their presence is well known on eBay from troll sellers who purchase their games and list them well above the sale price immediately upon receiving them. That said, let's get into how I was banned for life. Back in early 2020, Limited Run announced the remake for the video game Panzer Dragoon. While it isn't my favorite video game, I have it for the Sega Saturn and enjoy it. The game is somewhat of a medieval version of Star Fox, a rail shooter. Excited for the potential of playing a beefed up version of the game on the Nintendo Switch, I pre-ordered the game on Limited Run's website in March 2020, right as the coronavirus pandemic was hitting the US. Several months later, I received correspondence from the company that the game was delayed because the developer was continuing to work on the game. I was completely fine with this because I didn't want to buy a buggy game. The probability of updates coming out for these limited run games is low, so I'd prefer that they produce the best version possible for a physical release. And delays are somewhat common with limited run games, so it didn't really bother me at the time. Fast forward to August 2020, we had decided to sell our home and move based upon the lack of space for a home office. After the move, I completed a change of address. Additionally, I updated my address on Limited Run's website. Fast forward once again to November 2020, and we are planning to host a small family gathering for Thanksgiving so our family could see the new house. During this time, Limited Run began sending out final copies of Panzer Dragoon. I recall seeing the ship notification in my email, but I didn't investigate further. That's really only the glimmer of accountability I have in all of this. Had I investigated further, I would have noticed that they were sending the game to my old address. With everything going on to host my family for Thanksgiving, a Nintendo Switch game was low on my priorities at the time. December 2020 rolls around and it dawned on me that I never received the game. I went into my email, followed the package tracking, and realized it was marked shipped and delivered to my previous address in late November. I reached out to Limited Run Games in mid-December to let them know I had not received the game as it had been delivered to my old address. The representative from Limited Run indicated that updating the address on their website would not affect orders already placed, even if they were 8 months ago apparently. That's a systems problem that they need to fix on their end, but whatever. Limited Run sent the game UPS, but since packages were all jammed up from the holidays and COVID delays, UPS dumped the package on USPS. Since USPS delivered the package, the change of address should have worked, but it didn't. I reached out to the Postal Service to see if they lost or kept the package for some reason. I gave Limited Run a heads up that I was doing so. To this point, I feel like I have done more than enough here. However, to imply that someone stole the game without having any evidence of this is a bit much. Sure, it is possible that the postal worker kept the game. Maybe the occupant of our old home took it. Or maybe a porch pirate struck. I did mail a letter to the person who bought our old home asking about the game, but the person didn't reply, so who knows? Regardless, I paid for a game and the company didn't get it to me. None of this should be a me problem. I ended up getting in touch with the local postmaster in late December and she indicated that they could not track the package down. She said that the shipping method Limited Run selected would not trigger the change of address to work. This basically puts me in limbo with resolving this between the post office and Limited Run. I sent this correspondence to Limited Run and evidently that wasn't satisfactory. They asked for a notice of missed delivery. So basically to this point, Limited Run is saying, we have your money, this isn't our problem. Therefore, my next step was to take money out of the equation, so I had a conversation with my credit card company and challenged the charge. Magically, in early March, I receive a message from Limited Run that says a chargeback was credited to my account, and if I didn't change it, they would permanently ban me. This prompted even more back and forth with their representatives. They asked me to provide proof that I, in fact, did file a change of address when we moved. If the USPS didn't conduct the change of address, then Limited Run said they could categorize this as a missed delivery and go after them. I once again reached out to the post office and forwarded the information to the company. Upon receiving the change of address information, Limited Run asked me to remove the chargeback from my credit card company, and they said they would proceed with a missed delivery case. That was pretty much the last straw for me. If I lifted the fraud case from my credit card company, then I had no protections if Limited Run decides to jerk me around any further. I can't file another claim, so they could literally just sweep this under the rug and keep my money. I sent the rep a note indicating that I would happily cancel the fraud claim if they credited my account for the price of the game. The rep responded with, "This is not a negotiation." At that point, it was game over as far as I was concerned. After months of emails and phone calls with the post office, Limited Run, and my credit card company, that was it. Perhaps I'm being too stubborn, but I never once felt like the company put me first throughout this whole experience. Being petty, I wanted to take one last jab at the company. It was my pretty woman, big mistake moment. Following that note, I was later sent the following email that indicated I was permanently banned. C'est la vie. What do you think, guys? Was I in the wrong here? Regardless, Limited Run Games will be fine without me, and I'll be fine without them. I still like their company, I just wanted to inform you guys of what could potentially happen, so keep an eye on your orders. In closing, let's continue to be safe, let's continue to wear a mask, and let's continue to save lives. See you guys.